Alright, well, welcome aboard everybody. Good afternoon, aloha, and of course you guys can call me Marty. And I'll give you a little history about me. I've been flying helicopters over 20 years, 10 years in Hawaii, 4 years in Alaska, a bunch of years with search and rescue out here, over 14,000 hours helicopter. Also, I want to make sure everybody had a chance to see that safety video before you got on board today. Good. Pictures and video you can shoot anytime you want. Helps to turn your flash off, helps with the reflections. Microphones, I do switch them off during takeoff and landing. It's the only time I do it to you. And you can feel the air conditioners on. You can open and close these. You can rotate them like that. Make yourself comfortable. If you feel sick in flight, got the aloha bags on board. They're in the pouches in front of your knees in the back. Got them up front. They're also in that door to your right. Other than that, everybody else set to go? Okay, good.
Just as free as we'll ever be. Gonna put the world away for a minute, pretend I don't live in it. Sunshine gonna wash my blues away. Had sweet love but I lost it. She got too close so I fought it. Now I'm lost in the world trying to find me a better way. Wishing I was deep in the water somewhere. Got the blue sky breeze and it don't seem fair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy, never felt so high. And I think I might have found me my own kind of paradise. Wrote a note, said be back in a minute. Bought a boat and I sailed off in it. Don't think anybody's gonna miss me anyway. Mind on a permanent vacation. The ocean is my only medication. Which ain't ever gonna go away. 'Cause now I'm
Not bad, huh, guys?
got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach.
What we'll do first is cruise up this river here called Hula. That's the same river that was in Indiana Jones. If you remember when the seaplane took off, it was the scene with the snakes. So that's the only part that's not true. There's no snakes on Kauai.
Washing over me. It's a sweet, sweet life. Living by.
Now we'll fly along these mountains for a little while. These are the Haupu Mountains. Sometimes as we do, you might get a little bit of wind off the cliffs. There's always a couple places like that here. Nothing to worry about. Just figure it's nice to let you know.
In the water somewhere, got the blue sky breeze blowing wind through my hair. Only worry in the world is the tide gonna reach my chair. Sunrise, there's a fire in the sky. Never been so happy.
Now there's a dirt road approaching up ahead of us here. That's an ATV tour you can try called the Kupu Ranch Tour. That's the road that was in the movie Descendants. That scene when George Clooney drove the Jeep up over the hill, he was sitting on that saddle to our left. All that land you're going to see on the other side, it's going to become state parks land someday. There's no such thing as a private beach here though, so if you paddle to it, you can definitely use it. You'll see that word kai quite a bit in the Hawaiian language, like kipu kai. All that means is ocean. Remember what this part of the ocean looks like too, because the southern part of the island is the smooth water during the winter. North Shore within the last week has had waves as high as 50 feet. Totally different land to our right. There's two ponds down there. Just to the right of the closest pond, if you see those black dots down there, those are cows. That cattle ranch right there is owned by the Rice family. They live right by that long row of pine trees you see coming up ahead of us. Those are cook pines. There's their house, middle of the row. What about all of you? Where's everybody staying while you're here on Kauai? mic right up to your mouth.
Marriott Resort.
There we go, now I heard you. The rest of you, based on your silence, you're staying with them, I guess? We'll go with that. That's Poipu down to our left there. That's the South Shore, sunny side. North Shore is definitely the rainy side. Anytime you go down to Poipu, you get to go through the tree tunnel too. It's that long row of eucalyptus trees. We'll fly right over it. It parallels that ridgeline straight ahead of us, just on the other side. It's definitely going to be the best snorkeling down in Poipu this time of year too. Try and remember a restaurant called the Beach House. Typically about 2 or 3 in the afternoon, that's when a lot of the sea turtles come by. It's great fishing down to our left too. We got peacock bass down there, largemouth, and tilapia. It's called the Waitau Reservoir. It was formerly for the sugar cane, but that's been gone over 10 years. And I doubt you can tell, but we're moving at 130 miles an hour.
Why did they get rid of the sugar cane?
What happened is they stopped subsidizing it and made the whole deal cost prohibitive. Yeah. So on Kauai, it got replaced by corn. Here comes that tree tunnel. Up ahead, you'll see cars going right to left. The real name is called Malohia Road, planted in 1911, sometimes called Swamp Mahogany. That squiggly dirt road up ahead, that's a motocross track. Sundays, that's when they're up here riding. These guys go way up in the mountains. By the time you notice where they ride up there, it's going to look like a pig trail. In fact, if you notice that line that goes up that cliff ahead of us, that's where they ride their motorcycles, right up that cliff there, right along that ridge right there. The guys that ride this thing, they call it helicopters. It has nothing to do with us flying over it. It has to do with if you make a wrong turn on it, you better figure out how to fly. Same deal. Sometimes crossing over the Kahili Mountains here, you may feel a little bit of wind in a couple places. There's a motocross trail, hard to miss, right off your right shoulder now. What we'll do is continue west though. We want to go into a valley called Hanapepe. Think back to 1992 is where they filmed the first of the Jurassic Park movies. It's where they filmed the helicopter landing in front of a waterfall. It's a 400-foot waterfall. It's called Manaveapuna. Everybody today still calls it Jurassic Falls. There's another reservoir in the mountains up here too. It's called the Alexander Reservoir. It's going to be off to our left here in a few seconds. It's the water source for the coffee fields. There's over 4 million coffee trees on Kauai right now. It's the largest plantation here. There's the reservoir just off to your left there. Got a real faint rainbow developing too, just ahead of us here. Yeah. That is Hanapepe Valley ahead of us, privately owned by a family called the Robinsons. I'll tell you more about them in a minute. And the first waterfall you're going to see in this valley is going to be a little further to the right here in a second, called Kahili Falls. Should look like one waterfall stacked on top of another. Kahili Falls, as you look to your right, you can just start to see it sneak up over there. See how it looks like one on top of another? Yep, that's Kahili. Rainbow's getting bigger. Now if you want to find Jurassic Falls, it's easy. There's a ridge down to our right that slopes off on a 45-degree angle. So as we begin banking to the left here, give it a couple more seconds, and look directly off your right shoulder, and here she comes. Welcome to Jurassic Park. You know, if you go back and watch the movie again later, the helipad was built on that stone wall that sits in front of the pond down there. It was taken away when it was completed. The first one was totally destroyed by Hurricane Iniki. Remember, that was the year 1992. Strangely, the day